What to do when you're too exhausted to keep going. In this video, we're going to talk about why you're exhausted to begin with, why are we all exhausted with society, with everything that's going on right now, and what to do on those gray, rainy days, and how to go back to yourself and redefine and re-listen to yourself to keep going from an inner source, your inner battery. So when we are prompt to people please, when we are used from probably childhood, most chances are, to just try to make things for other people to like us. For example, if you grew up in a household where your parents used to fight, you heard a lot of screaming all the time, maybe something inside of you programmed yourself to be more pleasing because, in my case, for example, it was if I will keep quiet, if I will not say what I need, if I will just listen to them and do whatever they tell me to, then maybe they will stop fighting. Obviously, that was not the case. It wasn't even related to me, clearly. And if this is your background or you have a similar background, you know what I'm saying. So what happens then, we get into this program in our subconscious mind to please others, to try to always fit in, to try always to say the right thing, to do the right thing, to study something we don't want to study, to go to a job that we really hate and our boss is really disgusting to us, but we do it because there is a program inside our mind that tells us that we need to fit in, and if we please others and if we do what others expect of us or what we think others expect of us, then we'll get love, then we'll have validation, then we'll be good enough. So what can we do to stop all this madness? Now, first of all, forgive yourself. That's the first step. Forgive yourself. Recognize that pattern and forgive yourself. Give yourself the compassion that these programs in our subconscious mind were created there to protect you. They were probably created there before you were 7 years old. There's an understanding, and research shows us now that up until around 7 years old, our subconscious mind is completely wide open. So everything we hear from our parents, from our kindergarten teacher, from neighbors, from whoever this may be, everything we hear, we don't have a filter. So we just take it as the truth. So if we heard that the world is dangerous, if we heard that people are only liking us if we don't cry, if we heard that good girls need to be quiet and play in the corner or boys don't cry, all these things that we hear, we didn't have a filter. So first and foremost, we want to forgive ourselves because we didn't know any better. We were younger than 7 years old, right? So let's forgive ourselves first and acknowledge that this is what it was, and that's okay, and it was there to protect you, and it was there to lead you to where you are. The second thing we want to go back to or start doing is going back to the inner knowing of ourselves, because Kabbalah teaches us that you were created in the divine image. Divine image means that there's no self-hatred, there's no people-pleasing, there's no trying to fit in so somebody will love me or like me or give me a promotion or whatever. Right? We give ourselves the validation, because think about the divine. What is the divine? You want to call it God, you want to call it the universe, you want to call it spirits, whatever you want to call it. It's an omnipresent love. It's an unconditional love that is all consuming. And I imagine just like this huge pool and waterfalls and just all the beauty that we can imagine. That's the divine. So if we were created in the image of the divine, what does that tell you? That there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with us. And we are perfectly imperfect the way we are. So we want to go back to this knowing. This is where I found back in the day when I was too exhausted to keep on trying. It was around the time when I was 35. My grandfather passed away. I was very close to him. It broke my heart. It shattered the earth that I was really walking on. It shattered everything I knew to be true. And I was in real pain. It took me a few months, more than a few months actually, to heal. And so one of the things along those months, I discovered Louise Hay's work, and I mentioned it in a couple of other videos. But the work was to go to the mirror and tell yourself, I love you. Tell myself, I love me. And I remember it was so freaking hard. The first time I tried to do this, I looked at myself, but I couldn't even say, I couldn't finish the word love. It was so disappointing. I was very disappointed. And so I was disappointed because I realized that something's wrong. Because I realized that if I cannot tell myself I love me, how do I expect other people to accept me? How do I expect to, quote unquote, get validation from other people? It doesn't make any sense. And then I realized that that's actually the reason why I don't receive validation from other people, because I don't give myself the validation. So I started working on that. I distilled it into the 3-minute mirror method, because it means that anytime you feel you're exhausted, anytime you feel anything out of whack, out of alignment, go to the mirror, look at yourself in the eyes, and hold one hand on your heart, one hand on your stomach, still look at yourself in the eyes and say whatever you need to hear. I ask, what do I need today? What do I need today to feel good? What do I need today to feel fulfilled, to not feel exhausted? What do I need today? And then the third step is to give yourself permission to do whatever it needs, whatever it means, to go get yourself another cup of coffee, to go get yourself another cup of water, to go around for a walk around the block, to give yourself a hug. Like, that simple. To call your best friend, to journal, to meditate, to go for a workout, whatever that would look like for you. And the cool part about this 3-minute mirror method is that you can do it from everywhere. You can literally get this tiny little pocket mirror and do it, open it up and do it, keep it in your purse. You can look at yourself in your car mirror. You can go to the bathroom, anywhere you're at. There's a mirror in the bathroom.